two types, input and output. What are the behavior of the tags? Four type, inline and block. After that, dependent and independent. We are discussing HTML first or second class. Okay. Okay, let's go now. JavaScript is one side, HTML is another side, and user is the one side. User is going to face the HTML, and HTML is going to deal with the JavaScript. User is not going to deal with the JavaScript. Who will deal? HTML. HTML will deal with JavaScript, and JavaScript will deal with the HTML. Okay. And the dealing point where we are going to send the value, receive the value from HTML to JavaScript, that is going to call as a data binding. Okay. Sending the data, receiving the data is called as a data binding. Now, HTML says like I can deal with the HTML. JavaScript also say I can communicate with the HTML. When the JavaScript want to communicate with the HTML, in HTML JavaScript font there is a two type of tag. One is called input tag, another one is called output tag. Now JavaScript want to send some value to input tag. JavaScript want to receive some value from the input tag. Correct? So while communicating with the input tag, JavaScript have to use the different property. While communicating with the output tag, JavaScript has to use the different property. Okay. So now suppose JavaScript want to take the value of a text box. User came, user enters the value under the text box, and user click on button. Now JavaScript wanted to know what is the value. Correct? So how the JavaScript will communicate? JavaScript has to first look into the HTML, and they have to understand what is the type of HTML tag. JavaScript will come to know it is called as a input tag. JavaScript has to behave in different way to deal with the input tag. Now the value of the text box will go to the JavaScript. Again from JavaScript it has to come to the HTML. JavaScript has to behave in different way. Reduce one more point. That's fine. You can reduce one more point. Problem is what? I have to speak with full energy. You understood or not? Okay, and this is happening since morning 6:30. Okay. Now suppose this is one text box. User will come. User will enter his name called Ganesh. User will click on a button here called go. 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 Okay. After that, this value should come and print below called hi Ganesh. Hi Ganesh. User will enter the value here, people, and he will click on go, and then the value should come as a what? Hi Ganesh. Now you can see this is called input tag, and this is called as a output tag. Here we are using the paragraph tag, or maybe division tag, maybe a span tag, maybe label tag, but here you are using as a text box. Now as soon as you click on go button, the value of text box from here, it will go to the JavaScript. Let me rearrange a little. This button what I created here, it came in the wrong place. I will go here and click the go button. Go button. This value from HTML, it will go to the next. That is called a JavaScript. Now JavaScript will receive how much? JavaScript will receive as a Ganesh. But output should come as a hi Ganesh. After receiving the Ganesh value, now JavaScript is going to process this value. What process it will do? JavaScript will add here called hi, comma, which one? Ganesh. After doing hi Ganesh, JavaScript has taken the value from where? HTML. JavaScript did the process. After processing, this value again has to go to where? This value should come to the HTML. So at this place, processing is happening by JavaScript. User has entered the value in HTML only, and user want to see in HTML itself, but HTML have no that feature. HTML can take the value, but HTML cannot print on another place because HTML is a static. Now, at that point, JavaScript will come. JavaScript will say HTML, you give me your value from the text box. It will take inside JavaScript. If required to modify, processing will happen. After processing, final output will get ready, and that final output will send to where? Again, HTML. So JavaScript took the value from the text box, and JavaScript send the value to where? Paragraph. In fact, value came in HTML only. Input happened in HTML. Output also happened in HTML. But since why JavaScript came in between? Because HTML was not able to pass from one place to other place since it's a static language. Then JavaScript will come in between. JavaScript will take the value, do the process if required, and after that pass to other place. So at this moment you can see one place your JavaScript is dealing with the input tag. Another place your JavaScript is dealing with the output tag. Both the place JavaScript cannot communicate in the same way. While communicating with the input tag to request the value, JavaScript has to behave in different way. While sending the value to HTML from JavaScript, since it's the paragraph tag or maybe division tag, so at that point JavaScript has to behave in different way. That is called data binding, taking from one side and passing by other side, taking from one hand and returning by the another hand. Okay, now at this point, competition in the market is not only this point, from here also from JavaScript also you have to send this data to backend. Okay, so in the market the technology have the communication. JavaScript will say I can take 1 second to do this process, to take the value, merge with the hide and return back to where? HTML. jQuery will say I can take 50% of time, 0.5 millisecond. Okay, next Angular React will come. They will say no need to go to JavaScript. Let me do in the HTML itself. Okay, understood or not? jQuery will come. jQuery will say no, I will also do the same. I will also go to the HTML, take the value, give to JavaScript. From JavaScript, I will come back to where? HTML. I can reduce your 50% of the time. Okay, 30% you can say, not 50% exactly. Other technology will come, Angular React. This technology says like, no, yeah, no need to go to the HTML. Sorry, no need to go to the JavaScript. Take in HTML and give in HTML only. So there what will happen? JavaScript will give some extra value to HTML. HTML will not be only HTML. HTML will become a little XHTML, DHTML. Some extra feature will get added under the HTML, so that HTML will communicate like that. So here, see, you are jumping from one side to other side to other side. It will take some time. If it do everything in one side only, definitely it will reduce the time. Right? So those how it's going to work. Okay. So we are going to start from one side. First, we'll understand a small property, inner text. Then we'll understand the inner HTML. That is for the output tag. How to send the value and how to receive the value. If anyone asks list of output tags, you remember anything? List of output tags. List of input tags. There are text box, radio button, check box, select, text area, file. These all are called what? Input tag. In HTML documentation guide is written list of input tags. Okay, these all are called what? Input tag. The tag you use to collect the input from user, all are called what? Input tag. Division, paragraph, section, span, label, TSTR, TD, image. This all are called as a output tag. Okay. So if you want to deal with the input tag, you have to use the different property. If you want to deal with the output tag, you have to use the. At that point, the people get fail. Okay, the people who land directly under the JavaScript without knowing the HTML, after attending one or two class of JavaScript, they will say, I will start from HTML better. Okay, the people who learn from internet directly JavaScript, they will feel like HTML, fraud work, leave that, crap work, leave that. Once they'll go in JavaScript, they will come to know. I'm not able to understand this point. Problem is not in JavaScript. Problem is where? You have not missed out. You have missed out the ground knowledge. Foundation is not clear. You don't understand the inner HTML, inner text, where to apply, where not to apply. How to hide a text box? You don't know the property of text box. JavaScript, if you're writing directly, it will be surprise for you. If you remember in HTML, for a text box, how many property you have written? In HTML class, if you go back, if you recall, it was written. We have written at least minimum. We have written called type, input type equal to what? Text number you have written. You have written input type equal to text number email. You have written the max length also you have written. You have used size property you have used. You have used placeholder you have used. These all are used or not? Used, no? Correct? Those all are going to come under the property binding. JavaScript can change the property of HTML. Okay, dynamically. User will click on button will get removed, and their option will come please wait processing. That meaning is what? JavaScript has played with the property of HTML, and after that JavaScript says HTML button, you be silent for some time. Okay, just you hide here only. On payment gateway, you have seen, no? When you click on button, what will happen? Please wait processing will come. Button will hide for some time. Those all are the game of JavaScript. Okay. In Flipkart, when you click on add to cart, immediately option number will get increased on the top. That is the game of JavaScript. Here we are also going to introduce a very good project in the market, Medical Planet. You can purchase the medical letter from here only. Medicines. Okay. If you want to book a doctor appointment, you can come here, go to the books, and see here. This one are the doctor. My slots are also available here. Testing is going on as of now. They are working on this slots. How to generate the slots. Okay. Now suppose, see, if I go here, labs test anywhere. Okay. Labs I went. When I went to the labs, you can see here multiple types of tests are there. Testing data are there. As soon as I click here, you can see one message will come here. One item added in the cart. See here. How many are there on the top? 4 are there. See, 4 are there here. Let me add one more item in the cart. Here you will see 5 happen. Happen 5. Part of JavaScript. Again, if I click here, it will say, sorry, this item is already available in your cart. Saying here. Saying what is saying? Already item is available in the cart. Today I added in the cart. This page, if I open after 5 days also, it will show me in your cart there is 5 items. That is the game of. Like suppose now you will open your this page website, if you open in your laptop, for you also it will say add to cart. Whatever you will do add to cart, if you are not purchasing today, after 5 days if you open the page, it will say in your cart there is a 5 items. Still you are not logged in. Game of JavaScript. Okay. Come another feature you want to see. Look at here. Suppose I went here. This is a text box. I type here something. Suppose DOLO. See, D related all suggestions are coming. Right. Suppose if I go here, select anything. So many options are coming here. Right. Dolo 160. If I click on that, that product details are not there. Right. Suppose if you go here, pharma, PHA, pharma related, so many are coming, right? Komal pharma one, I clicked, see what is happening. In Komal pharma one category, no product. If I click here, other product will be there. See product are here. Add to cart, we do one item added to the cart. See it's happen. In that, JavaScript is playing major important role. In fact, the backend application is being developed in the React. Okay. Come there. So we will come to our point where we were. We were into the here. That is called this 2 point. That is called inner text and inner HTML. Inner text and inner HTML. Okay. So we'll create one file. Give the file name data binding one.html. Create a file. Give the file name data binding one.html. Data binding one.html. In which folder you followed? Yes, data binding folder. In data binding one.html file, start from HTML, follow the head and follow the script as well. Follow the body, video, dy, okay, come inside, go there, follow the A button, H1 you can write, JavaScript, inner HTML, inner will be small, inner HTML, the Siddharth class when you start once. Today is Friday only. No? No, log in from your site and make him host. Don't know. Write a button, inner text, inner HTML. On click equal to call a function for one. Write a BR, one more BR, division, ID equal to container, no data. Okay, now come up, write a function. First create a variable called data equal to h1, keep inside welcome JavaScript, close the h1, write a p tag, is working, something, close the p tag. Okay, hope ready. Two button. We got some content also here in a paragraph and something. Now we'll write a function one equal left inside. I keep one more function. Function two. Hello. Both function is working. Run the page, button click, alert should come. Button click. Hi and hello. Okay. Now next here, the variable is ready with some data as a HTML tags. Function is ready. Button is also ready. Button click. Connectivity is happening. Event is getting called. Function is getting called. Okay. Next, what we want is once we click on first button, something should display in the browser. When we click on second button, something should display in the browser. Let's go here and write one line. Document. Document represent your current page. Your current page where HTML start and HTML end. That get represented by a word called document in JavaScript. Okay, so document means what? The current page. Complete where the HTML start, where HTML end. In the term of JavaScript is the name of the class. Document is the name of the class. It has multiple functions. So now you are going to call document dot document document dot write. Document dot write. So document meaning what? Document meaning is current page. Okay, in current page, how many elements you have? So many elements. Multiple tags are there. All are going to call it a elements. But what will happen using the first line? Document dot write. In the current document, whichever the elements are available, all the elements will get replaced by this variable. Call it a data variable. Under data variable, what you have? H1 we have and paragraph we have. Run the page. Click on first button. It will replace all the content of your current page. Only it will come welcome JavaScript. It is working. Everything got replaced. Document dot write meaning is what? All the content of your page will get replaced by H1 and paragraph. See here. Everything got replaced by H1 and paragraph. So that is not going to help you a lot. Okay, on internet, people have given such kind of many examples, but that example are completely useless. Okay, it's called as a browser object model. Your current page considered as a object. Inside the current object is changing everything by the particular element. We want when we click here, it should not button should not get replaced. Okay, button should be there only, whereas this content should appear. Even that is not part of your inner HTML and inner text. Inner HTML inner text is something else. You may have seen this document.write on internet. So that is not even 1% also useful. I'll remove this line. What I will write is here you have seen what we wrote, document dot write means inside the current page everything we replaced, but we don't want to replace everything. If we replace everything, what will happen? Suppose go to the Facebook, comment to someone, type a comment and submit. Entire page get replaced by a comment. What is the meaning? Any meaning is there? No meaning. Go to the Facebook, go to the Gmail, write one email, click on send button, entire page get replaced by one email. Any meaning is there? No meaning. Go to the Twitter, reply a comment of someone, entire page get replaced by one comment. Any meaning? No meaning. That meaning is what? If you use the document dot write, you cannot manipulate with the entire element. You will manipulate with the only one element. That is called current element. So we will not work based on browser object model. We will work on document object model. Okay, that is called DOM. Okay. Now what DOM says like? DOM says like in your current page, how many elements you have? There can be multiple elements. Division can be many times. Paragraph can be many times. Button can be many times. Okay. Where HTML start, where HTML end. From start to end, it's called a document. Class will be called what? Document. Inside the document, whichever the tags are there. So what are the tags are there? So many tags we have. Now each tag will consider as an element. Remember the array. Inside the array we used to have elements. Each element was unique element. Correct? Unique. Each have the unique index. Right? Now suppose in current page, how many buttons we have? 2 buttons. How to identify button is unique or duplicate? So as of now, button are duplicate only. Button is open and close, open and close. Okay. That is also next matter. We are going to discuss next. So in current page, where HTML start, where HTML end is called as a document. In current document, whichever the element, whichever the tags we have, all are called as a element. Okay. Now if we look into the JavaScript library, that library is called as a DOM, document object model. Under the DOM library, under the JavaScript DOM library, we have a function. Okay. DOM in the sense, the document, what we are calling is a class. Inside the class, there is a function. Okay. So class function, we have not read as of now. So I will not use that word. I will use what word? JavaScript has a library called DOM. Inside the DOM, there is a function. Function name is called getElement by ID. Function name is getElement by class name. Function name is getElement by tag name. Tag name. Okay. So using that, what we can do? We can find a particular element. Suppose in current page, there is a 5 paragraphs. If I use the document.getElement by tag name, if I push the paragraph, how many paragraph will come? 5 paragraph. Will be difficult to identify individual. If you say the document.getElement by class. So in one page, there will be multiple division. And for all that, maybe 3-4 division have same class. There also will get confused. Or maybe all the class will come, will get the list of division. So the best solution to start the JavaScript is not to use the ID, not to use the class, and not to use the tag name. Follow one called ID. And in current page, whichever the division paragraph H1, H2 you have, everyone should have a unique ID. It should not get duplicate. If the duplicate will happen, JavaScript will face the problem. Okay. Now what function we are going to apply? This is the content we have. This is the content. Content variable is called a data. It is holding H1 and it's holding the paragraph. It can hold some text, number, anything, everything. Okay. Assume like it's a container. It's holding some data. This data we want to send to the browser. So what we have to do? We have to use the HTML as the medium. Through HTML, we can send to the browser. Now, while sending to the browser, what you are going to send? Is it only text or is it consist HTML also? So see what we have. Only text or HTML also? Both is there, no? HTML tag is there as well as text is there, right? Now, next point is the content you are going to send to the browser, where you are going to send. Any location is defined or not? Correct? If you click on view profile, below view profile, If you click on edit profile below, because the location is defined. Look at here. We have given a division saying like ID call as a container. So division is the element where it is inside the current page. And the current page is called as a document. Current page is called as a document. So we can write document dot. Means what? Not out of the document, inside the document. Document dot means go inside the document and apply a function called get element by ID. Means in current document, search using what? ID. For that, function is a ready-made function. That is called get element by ID. So for current document, we are going to apply a function get element by ID, and inside that function, we will provide the ID. Now that function will start searching in the current document, not in other page. The page, whatever is open, that page is called a current document. In current document, the JavaScript, the get element by ID function will start searching. Where is the particular ID? As soon as the ID will found, the function will be responsible either take the value or give the value. If you have asked give the value, it will assign the value. If you asked capture the value, it will take the value. When? If it found. So suppose if you write here document.getElement by ID container. Document.getElement by ID. Which ID? Container. Container is there. We have already learned the equal to operator. Equal to for what purpose? Assignment. Right or not? Yes. So using the document.getElement by ID inside container, we are going to assign something. Okay. We are going to assign something. Let's come. Document dot. So what is the meaning of document here? Your current page. Document represent the current page. Document dot get element. ELEMENT. It's a camel case. Okay. Camel body. We remember no up down up down up down. Similar way. Starting will be from the lower, then upper, again lower, then upper. The first word will be small. Remaining other words, first character will be capital. Get is the small. Element is the second word. E will be capital. By is the third word. B will be capital. ID is the fourth word. I will be capital. Okay. Inside that, what you are going to search? Which ID? Container, definitely. And in container, what you want to do? Two options we have. One is called inner HTML, another one is called inner text. You have to remember, if your content is holding the HTML tag also, then you have to use the inner HTML. If your content is holding only text data, then you will use the inner text. Clear? Inner text for what purpose? To send only text data. Inner HTML for what purpose? To send HTML and text both combinations. Okay. Now, so first function is pointing as a inner text. First function is pointing as a inner text. So we can use here inner text. Inner text equal to, what is the variable name? Data. Copy the same line. Inner HTML equal to data. Check now, any difference is happening? Inner text and inner HTML. Camel case need to remember capital word. इधर नहीं है। Okay. Now, what is the difference between inner text and inner HTML? Inner text will display you the content in the text format. Inner HTML will display the content in the HTML format. So if our data is combination of HTML tag and text, then we will use this property, inner HTML property. If our data is the combination of only text, then inner HTML is not required. Inner text you can use it. Okay. Right. So we can go ahead next example. Or if you want, you can write one more button here. Function 3. Inside the function 3, you can write here call only text. Now write a function called 3. Inside the function 3, create a variable data equal to some text. Data plus equal to some more text. Data plus equal to some more text. Finally, document dot get element by id inner text. Inner text equal to data. Since here there is no HTML tag, so we will not use any kind of inner HTML property. Let it go as a directly text. See, only text is coming. If you use the text function, if you use the text property, if you use the text property for HTML content, then it will display in the HTML format. It will display in the text format. So that only we need to remember. What is my data? Is it HTML only or combination of both? If combination of both, then we can use the inner text. If the only text, then we can use the inner text. Okay, go next. Next file we can create data binding 2. Data binding 2.html. Open no error. Document meaning current page. Get element by ID. Function for what purpose? To search element using ID. If the available, then assign the value in the form of inner text or in the form of inner HTML. Concatenation. A equal to A plus B, we remember A equal to A plus B. A plus equal to B, same thing. Concatenation is happening. The content of data variable is getting added by something else again in every line. That is called concatenation. If the value will be number, then addition will happen there. Since the value is not number, it is starting from the string. So plus operator will do the concatenation. Data plus equal to, also you can write data equal to data plus. Okay. Add a script body h1, inner text and inner HTML example. Inner text and inner HTML example. Write a p tag, enter full name. Enter full name. Input type equal to text. ID equal to some name be given as a F name. We'll keep a button also here. Something save. On click, call the function one. Ready? Next, after that, user will come. User will enter the value under the fname variable. Next, after that, we have to keep one. Suppose h1 I keep down. We give id equal to id equal to my name. So it has to take from the fname and display under the my name. When once we click on button, we are going to enter the value under the text box. The value will go under the f name, and on button click, it will take from the f name and give to my name. Okay, so in that, JavaScript is required to take the value from f name and give to my name. My name is not visible because you have not given anything here. You will write a function now. Function one. Function one. Okay. The function one, it has to go first, take the value from text box. So for that, let's create a variable name equal to document dot get element by id. Which id? fname dot value. For text box, you have to use the value property. All the input field, we have to use dot value property. All the output field, we have to use either inner text or inner HTML. If the data is text format, then inner text. If the data is both, then inner HTML. For which one? For the output tags. And for all the input tags, we have to use this property called value. While sending also, while receiving. Yes, now the value of text box will come to which variable? Name variable. Keep alert here, name. Alert the name. After alerting the name, now we have to send the same value to document dot get element by ID. Which ID? My name dot inner text. Inner text equal to name variable. Name is holding the content. Okay, check now. Button click, value of text box is coming to H1. Here is the flow. You will enter anything. Enter suppose Bangalore. Click on save. Anything, whichever we enter here, value will come down. Okay. So here, what is the actual job is happening? We are taking the value from the text box, right? We are taking the value from text box and passing to the JavaScript, and JavaScript is returning back to the HTML. The inner dot value property to take the value from text box, inner text to assign the value to the H1. So these four properties are there, important completely. Inner text and inner HTML. That if you understand properly, then data binding will be easy for you. Data binding will be easy for you. Tomorrow we are attending that calls. Okay, so I will send you the message now, the address.
Sir, if we have a gap of more than 5 years or 5 years, how we should submit the resume and all?
No, that company address tomorrow. Group. We are also in the group, no? 7 a.m. After that, 8 a.m. After that, which one? 9:30. Then 11 o'clock. 2 p.m. Yeah, 2 p.m. And then after that, which one? 3:30. Then 5 o'clock. In the group, just you post in the group, and just you can mention in that. Please carry 2 copy of two set of resumes, 2 sets of resume, and reach before 10 o'clock. Address should be clear. If year gap is there, then put some experience. That is the only solution. If year gap is there, then we can give some Which batch? Try करो आप as a fresher. If you are not getting, then you can try something. No, go there and submit there only resumes. I have communicated in the morning only with the HR. Again, I will call her. There should not be misbehavior with the info campus people. Else, I will ask our two manager to resign from your company. I asked yesterday what is the follow and all. She said like there is a presentation will be there. My manager, so the owner is coming. He will present about the company, investor, everything. Tomorrow it's 1 hour session, and after that people need to submit the resume. Some registration process will be there. They'll not take money. Don't worry on that. Okay. Registration in the sense submit your resume. Maybe they will ask to fill some form and all. You need to fill and then come back. Next, after 10 days, interview process will start. The data they will upload in the application, and then the data will go to the Canada team, and from there they will start taking the interview 10 people. I don't know what kind of preparation. Tomorrow they will not ask question, brother. Further, why you worry? Just learn, no? Learn it. Okay. They have asked to come till 10 o'clock maximum. 9:30 time they have given. I told how people will reach 15 kilometers in 9:30. You give till 10 o'clock, no? You say okay till 10 o'clock. It will come in group. She will be posting now from there. It's not posted. It will post. She will post. She will post. No. Today I'm in the class. Wait for 5 minutes. Okay. Okay. So this example is working, right? People have much gap, right? Much gap. 4 years, 5 years, 6 year gap. This may not help you. You should try some other way. Have 17, 18 pass out people. From 17 onwards, whoever are pass out, they can go on. Just go and submit the details and come back. Once the interview will, she was saying like we have 300 openings. Okay. So at least submit that resume and then I will tight the bolt. I will ask 300 openings there in that. How many people selected from info campus? How many people you took interview? So with the list of selection, then next candidate will give you else now. Because in market problem is what? Finding the even not well trained people. Finding the trained people is also difficult task. Okay, like how you are coming here, we are maintaining your recording application, updating you for interview, this, that. All level of arrangement we have done. If much year gap, then sit in that room. No year gap, sit in this room. Much year gap, go through the second option. No year gap, go through the first option. Option is there or not? Everywhere people will not maintain like that. People just take the money, teach, and then where you are, they don't have track at all. They maintain the data in Excel. We maintain the data in application. We have the record of 13 to till date, 2013 to till date. Who have learned where and where is, what company you are working on the records. You don't worry, go and attend. Even I'm sending my one of my family member also tomorrow to go and see what is happening there. Okay, tomorrow time is little busy for me, else I could also come here to see what they are doing. Problem is 3-4 homework, it is higher priority. Children admission, they are there, those works are there. So I need to be there only. Else I will also come there. But I am sending to my brother son. He also preparing for the same UI only. He will also go there. He will tell me what is happening there. Another thing, one Rajpal is there, our old student manager of the company. I told him that should not be something wrong. Probably be happy with people. Okay, then we'll see you tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Bootstrap is a plan to start. Okay, let's see tomorrow. People are going for interview. Okay, tomorrow I don't know. For Sunday I will update you what we can do. Okay, Bootstrap is a plan on Sunday, Saturday only. So for Sunday we will see the timing and we will manage it. Okay, so a message came in the group.
Yes, sir.
We have working. What's in floor 11 mall, Tipasandra.
Hello.
Howard Johnson Hotel. Okay. So you can search this famous place only. No? Hotel will be famous from here. Okay. Maybe 1 hour.
Hello.
Hello.
Sir, for gap people, how can we get?
For gap people, I will guide you. Okay, you attend the class. I have other